Broken Hill is famous for its lead and zinc mine, union history and outback art. But many Aboriginal people live on the fringes of the city, and too many end up here in the local prison, out of sight on the edge of town. Brenda Mitchell is an Aboriginal caseworker. She supports Indigenous people coming out of jail or about to go before the courts.
Hello, my darling. How are you? Give us a hug.
One of her clients is Fiona Bates, who got into trouble with the police after they were called to her home to deal with a suicide threat.
Before I goes to get in the taxi, the police just pulled in, turned around and they got out and they asked me if I'm Fiona Bates and up there, and I said, yeah, why, I'd like to see you. And they said, oh, we just got a call that you was trying to commit suicide and we'll to see you. And I said, no, like to see you. And anyway, I rolled up my sleeves and up there and I said, look, no, there's nothing here, you know, like to see you. And I said, I ain't feeling like that there, you know.
Fiona says that after being arrested, she suffered a fit and blacked out, something she says has happened before.
There was about half an hour gap I missed out on.
Oh, true.
I went and chucked a seizure when they handcuffed me and they thought I was resisting arrest. They got ruffled with me.
She's often do that, don't you, have seizures?
And that's what all the grazing was all from me trying to break out that thing.
Brenda Mitchell will support Fiona until she goes to court and is trying to keep her out of the prison system.
I've looked at some of your previous charges and they were very minor, and it's, you know, they weren't really what you could call serious enough to be incarcerated for, so they were pretty minor.
Most of Brenda's clients have a mental illness or cognitive impairment. Some have done long stints in jail.
Hello, Rodney. How are you today? That's good. So can I come around and see you next week sometime, or are you going to come and see me?
Yeah, I'll come over here.
Yeah, come around and see me. All right then. See you, darling.
Yeah, all right.
Bye-bye.
Dr. Mindy Terry is the Program Director at the Community Restorative Centre, which helps prisoners live in the community after they've left prison.
All of our clients at CRC have really spent most of their lives being managed in jails and in criminal justice system settings rather than actually being supported in the community. So I guess that what we're trying to do is actually build that support into the community, and that's often the first time that that really targeted intensive support has been there for these men and women.
A new report from the University of New South Wales found that Indigenous prisoners had their first contact with police 3.4 years earlier than non-Indigenous inmates. Indigenous prisoners were 2.4 times more likely to have spent time in juvenile justice custody than non-Indigenous inmates.
In our cohort, there were very few who didn't have some kind of disability, either mental or cognitive. Very tellingly, of the Aboriginal people who had been in juvenile detention, not one of them did not have a disability. So every single one of them had a mental or cognitive disability, and most had complex support needs, had many diagnoses, many problems.
The report found that Indigenous female prisoners had the highest rates of mental health and cognitive impairment compared to any group in jail.
It is absolutely clear that this group of people are put on a train into the criminal justice system because they are being managed from an early age by the police, and that is criminalising their behaviour.
The report provides much-needed context to the increasing rate of Indigenous incarceration across the country and offers a potential solution, supporting people in the community rather than in jail. If you stick with people when they do come out, do you have a sense of optimism that people can change?
Oh, there is absolutely no doubt. And I suppose the thing is that we're incredibly optimistic about the people that we work with, because our return to prison rates are extremely low compared to what we would imagine they would be were they not to be supported. And that's around really basic support, things like helping people to fill out forms, taking people to Centrelink to make sure that they actually get the benefits that they're entitled to.
How you been going the last week or so?
I've been good, but there's a bit stressed out with
Some health
a little bit of
issues.
sickness I had.
So that's been dealt with now?
Been dealt with now, yes.
John Dennis lives around the corner from the Broken Hill prison. He spent 6 years in and out of the local jail.
How important was it for you, John, to move to Broken Hill, to relocate from the community where you come from?
Well, it was important to me to just stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
I live in Kenya, I just get myself into trouble all the time, so I sort of try a different approach. I thought when after I got out of jail, I went right over there, got all my stuff, I moved back here, and I stayed here ever since.
With some support, John has been able to live outside of prison in the community. He now spends his days working on his garden.
That one's come up beautiful. When he came out the next time and, you know, he said to parole, I'm not going back in there ever again, I'm going to do my darndest to stay out. And he's done that 4 years. In December he's been out.